Hey, hi everyone, greetings for the day. Today we'll look at one of the customer engagement tools which is open source and it's really a bit difficult or very rare to see such tools, especially when tools like Salesforce and others are very prevalent among different companies and organizations. Going through this website, it gives us a very clear idea about the intuitive marketing tools that scale. It's more based on you know an open source fundamentals, and it gives you a few features as I can see, like using journeys, creating segments, and there are a few templates which can provide you with the UI build-up. Visiting the GitHub page for this, uh, it is mostly built around JavaScript and TypeScript, and it doesn't give you a very you know clear idea as to how should I go about running it or self-hosting it. One of the benefits I see is that uh, instead of sending my data over to any third-party service like Salesforce and others, I just keep to get my data and keep it in my own service server. And this could be, if you are the company, you're planning to build your own custom engagement platform and with all the regulation and data compliance, this is one of the tools I could suggest to try it out. Uh, Going to the documents section of the Dittofeed application, mm, I see they have a Docker Compose tooling here, like documentation to get it started. We'll quickly explore out and try some of these commands here. So I have a Git pod environment here where I'll try running a few commands here. So the very first is I clone it. I say yes to the security. So I think that's one of the things they will need to change it here. We're not able to directly clone it, so I'll use the HTTP as URL. Now since I have a cloned here, I'll just see, okay, there's a repository. I see a Docker Compose YAML file, and I'll go to the documentation part again. They want us to create a .env file. Let us do that. I'll just clear those two parts here. Now they're using Postgres and ClickHouse as the database for storing some amount of data. So what we'll do is we'll try to save this. Just remember those passwords. We'll come back to them. Now the final step is to run the Docker Compose up. Sometimes the Docker Compose, this works. So let's see. The worker, ClickHouse server, Postgres, dashboard UI layer, API. Interesting. So once these get finished up, they want us to run the scripts admin.sh bootstrap. It will start the Postgres and ClickHouse. You may decide to use a third-party vendor. Okay, maybe if you want to store them in some AWS services, that's a good option, so that the data is still in your control. Okay, but they want us to, since we are hosting everything in a Docker container for testing setup, I think that makes sense. I'll just copy it to see. Okay, there are a few open ports here. I'll make it public just so you can see them once they're deployed. And I have run the bootstrap command here. Okay, it has run a few migrations. Let me see. I'm not able to see the URLs here. Sometimes it's let me see if I reload the page. Should it show me the ports again with the URLs? Okay, there's the API endpoint here. Okay, I'm not able to find it here. So this is a bit strange since the document doesn't talk about, how I can view that particular page here. That's where they could share some more data stuff. I want to see the interface. Let me see. So there's the dashboard is open on the 3000 port. I think it's 3001 here. Let's make it 3000. See if we're able to access. Was 3000 exposed on 3000? It doesn't. I can do run mode. I can down it. So now I know that uh, the service is up on 3000. So I'll make sure 5432. Let's see. Okay. The service is still starting. Okay, let me see if I run this command. Mm, well, there's something they'll need to look at. Let me see if the 3000 is working now. Oops, it still doesn't work. So this is, maybe some of the. I sometimes feel about it as one needs to have very good documentation because that really determines as to how people can quickly start about it and get their hands dirty. But definitely, I see some room for improvement here. Or else the system just uh, is taking some time to start. I think that also could be one of the very important documents which could be added here. But definitely, I'll give it another try and see, you know, what else I could do to make it work. But definitely give it a try. Look up to this page. Maybe it could be working for you. Please feel free to add a few comments if you're able to get it up started. Thank you. Hope this was at least a good view of how could you approach Dittofeed and give it a try. Thank you everyone.